Hey everybody, I went down to my bank and I asked if they had any pennies. The last couple times they said no, but today they said yes. I just got one bundle, so that's 10 rolls. So we're gonna do a good old-fashioned penny hunt. Okay, so we got 10 rolls of pennies. We're gonna get right into these. I can already see there's a bit of a mix of some older ones and some newer ones, so you never know what we're gonna find until we dig in. I see a 72 there. There might be something old right here as well. So we might find some good stuff. Well, first roll, second coin in. We've already got our first four, and it's a US, and we'll flip it over and we'll see that we've got a 1987 Denver. We got a 1979. This is one where we can look for a double date variety. I'm going to throw it under the scope, and we'll just see what we got here. And I don't see any doubling on that, so this isn't it at all, but we'll keep on looking. But I did notice the next coin in, we got an older one. We got 1962. So this is going to be a Laureate portrait of Queen Elizabeth. So we'll set that aside. Our first really good find on the board. Same roll, and we've got a 1985. So we can throw that into the scope here and see if that is the pointed 5 or the blunt 5. It's the blunt 5. I still haven't found a pointed 5, so we're going to keep looking for that. Same roll, and we got another oldie. Here's a 1954. Again, a Laureate portrait of the Queen. And so another great find, the oldest of the bunch right now, in 1954. And still in roll number 1, we got a 1960s, 1969 Queen Elizabeth here. Same roll, we got a 1977. It's got a fair amount of mint luster still on it. Still lots of shine and pretty good shape. Somebody's kept that one out of circulation for a while. We'll add that to our finds too. Not sure if I'll keep it, but you know, it's pretty good shape for a 1977. Okay, we're one roll, and we got a fair amount of copper for the copper cup. So anything from 1996 and earlier is copper in Canadian pennies. And so I like to separate that out, and we'll see what we get in the next roll here. Roll number 2, and we've got our another 1960s penny here, a Laureate portrait. And still got a bit of shine on there. We're going to add that to our board, to our 60s finds. Roll number 3, and we got a little bit of an older American. It's a 1967 Philadelphia. And another one that looks a little bit older, just a 72 Canadian behind it. All right, we are 4 rolls in, and I haven't found anything newer than 2004, which is interesting because pennies were discontinued in Canada in 2012. I'd expect to see 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, but so far nothing newer than 2003. I'm looking for some 2006s. Those are the ones where you might see them marked with a P but aren't magnetic, which are pretty rare. So it gives me some hope that there's some interesting stuff still in here. Of our finds, so we've got a stack of US coins here, and one really nice 70s. We've got a couple Laureate portraits in the 60s and one in the 50s. We just got to dig in here and see if there's anything else that we might find that's a little older. All right, roll number 7. Our ender is another Laureate portrait 60s penny. It is a 1963. We're going to add it to our finds over here, and we'll keep moving and see if we find anything else. All right, same roll, just a few coins later. We got another Laureate portrait 1964. Same roll, a few coins later, and we're filling out the early 60s. We've got another Laureate portrait in the 1962 right here. So this roll's looking pretty good. What we're hoping to see, of course, is if we can find some King George in here would be fantastic. Anything from the 40s. We've got one from the 50s so far. Can we keep it going? Okay, well, what I've got up on the screen here is a 1985 blunt 5. You can see how straight up and down it is here. This is a coin I found earlier. This is not the rare variety, but what I'm wanting you to take a look at is I got another 1985 here, and you can see it appears that the 5 is on an angle. The variety that we're looking for in the 1985 is the pointed 5. I don't know if this is actually the pointed 5 because the varieties that I've seen, the 5 looks like it is maybe more pointed than that. But that seems to have an angle going that way. It could just be damage. It's a rarer coin for sure. Or this could be an actual pointed 5. So again, take a look at that. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is this a pointed 5? So look at the angle that 5 is on there. And it seems to be a little bit better if I can make it darker. Versus this other one, which seems pretty clear. But again, I guess it has a little bit of an angle too. And the pointed 5 should be really more acute. So I think this is just a blunt 5 with a little bit of damage that just gives it a little bit more of a point. Let me know what you think. Roll number 9, and we got ourselves a 1966 Philadelphia Lincoln penny. Looks to be a pretty decent shape, a little bit of a nick rim. And I can see there's another American one towards the back there, so got a bit of a mix. We've got a couple stacks of US pennies here, which is completely to be expected because they're still circulating, so we find them around here, but we'll see what else we got in here. Roll number 9, I just pulled another 1985 to put under the scope, and have a look at that. That is a no-doubter 1985 pointed 5. I don't have one. I've never found one. It's so funny. I found a whole bunch of other ones, and we can actually compare this one to the one we were looking at earlier to see the difference. And yeah, that one is definitely a blunt 5. That was one we were looking at earlier. It's got a little bit of a point, but this one we've just found for sure. I think the whole characteristic of the 5 looks different, but that is absolutely a pointed 5. That's an awesome find. Still in roll number 9, and we got a pretty chewed up 1962 here. And oh yeah, it's barely recognizable at all. On the back is a Laureate portrait. But we'll add it to the finds of our early 60s. And we can see right below it here, we got another American. We pulled up a whole bunch. And this is a 1974. We are just getting to the end of roll number 10, and we have found ourselves our first US wheat penny. It is a 1952D. And if I flip it over, you'll see the wheat ears there. We can see the date it was facing us as it was sitting there. Our first wheat penny of this hunt. We're just about to the end. If we don't find anything else, I'll come up with a wrap up. Okay, well, we have completed our 10 roll mini penny hunt here. We pretty much filled up our copper cup, and we found 35 US pennies. We found our earliest Canadian was a 1954 Laureate portrait, and we found 6 early 60s Laureate portrait, a pretty dandy 1977. We found this 1952 wheat set, that's a Denver mint. But the star of the show today was finding this 1985 pointed 5, and I'll throw it under the scope one more time to get a look at that. There is our pointed 5, no doubt about that at all. And so I thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed our little penny hunt. Please subscribe to my channel to see more videos. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like, and we'll see you again soon.